Lesson 87 in A Course in Miracles for Saturday, March the 28th of 2026. It's from the Foundation for Inner Peace version. Our review today will cover these ideas, 73 and 74. 73 is, I will there be light. I will there be light. I will there be light. And 74, there is no will but God's. Now let's look at deeper at I will there be light. I will there be light. I will use the power of my will today. I will use the power of my will today. It is not my will to grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. Light shall be my guide today. Light shall be my guide. I will follow it where it leads me, where it leads me. And I will look only on what it shows me. This day I will experience the peace of true perception. This day I will experience the peace of true perception. There is no will but God's. 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 I am saved today because there is no will but God's. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. That's something. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. I try to attack only when I am afraid. I try to attack only when I am afraid. And only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety, is threatened. And only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. Today I will recognize that all this has not occurred. I am safe because there is no will but God's. I am safe because there is no will but God's. I am safe because there is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. I will there be light. I will there be light. There is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. Well, I'm Will. Hopefully I'm God's too. That's not what he's talking about, though. What he's talking about is that there's only one mind in the universe. And the only thing that's going on in that mind is the will of God. And it's everywhere all the time, never ceases. Now you can dream that you're out of it and you're powerful enough to make those dreams seem like wood, or seem real, knock on wood. It seems pretty real, but it's a dream. The only thing that has any reality is the will of God. There is no will but God's. Let's read through it. I sang the write-ups on both of them, but let's just take a look. And like I said, I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks here on my home place. And this is for Friday, March the 28th of 2024. Our review today will cover these ideas. I will there be light. I will use the power of my will today. It is not my will to grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. Light shall be my guide today. I will follow it where it leads me, and I will look only on what it shows me. This day I will experience the peace of true perception. These forms of this idea would be helpful for specific applications. This cannot hide the light I will to see. You stand with me in light, and name the person that seems to be disturbing you at the moment. You stand with me in light, and then name them. Or, in the light, this will look different. In the light, this will look different. I will there be light. That was lesson 73 review and lesson 74 review. And you don't have to go back and look at lesson 74. But do contemplate the ideas that he's telling you today. In the latter part of the day with the first, or the second lesson 74, there is no will but God's. First part of the day, I will there be light. So there is no will but God's. I am safe today because there is no will but God's. I am safe today because there is no will but God's. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. I try to attack only when I am afraid. And only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. Today I will recognize that all this has not occurred. I am safe because there is no will but God's. These are some useful forms of this idea for specific applications. Let me perceive this in accordance with the will of God. Or, it is God's will you are His son, and name the person that you might be having some difficulty with. It is God's will you are His son, and mine as well. Not my son as well. It's my will, because I'm tuned in with the one will of God. It is God's will you are His son, and mine as well. This is part of God's will for me, however I may see it. If it's happening, it's God's will for you. Learn to see it through the eyes of joy. See what you've beckoned to come to you by your power of your mind. Okay, let's go back and I think we're ready for chapter 10 in the text. And we're going to read the introduction and Roman numeral 1. And I don't think we'll go any further. Let's at least get those two read. And I think I told you, make sure you keep a bookmarker and you multiple year students, so that if I tell you the wrong thing, I think I told you the wrong thing yesterday. What we want to be for today is in the original edition, chapter 9, Roman numeral 10. If you read 9 yesterday, well then you're good. If you read 8 yesterday, well then read 9 and 10. Same thing applies in the New Testament, read John chapter 20. If you read 19 yesterday or 18, read 18 and 19, and then be ready, do 20 today. And same thing in Iyengar Yoga. We want to do lesson 104, or page 104 to 109. So there's several pages there. I think 104 to 105 is the finishing of the intense forward stretch. And then we're going to start the new pose. So read up to page 109. A Course of Love, chapter 27, Being. Read chapter 27, paragraph 12 to the end. Okay, now, idols of sickness. And let's just read it. Introduction. Nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving, because nothing is beyond you. Time and eternity are both in your mind, and will conflict until you perceive time solely as a means to regain eternity. You cannot do this as long as you believe that anything happening to you is caused by factors outside yourself. Remember what we learned just a couple lessons ago? We brought it to our memory again. There is no, well, this is what's happening. There is no will but God's. Everything's happening is God's will. But my salvation comes from inside me and you. You cannot do this as long as you believe that anything happening to you is caused by factors outside yourself. You must learn that time is solely at your disposal, and nothing in the world can take this responsibility from you. You can violate God's laws in your imagination, but you cannot escape from them. They are established for your protection and are as inviolate as your safety. God created nothing beside you, and nothing beside you exists, for you are part of Him. What except Him can exist? Nothing beyond Him can happen, because nothing except Him is real. Your creations add to Him as you do, but nothing is added that is different, because everything has always been. What can upset you except the ephemeral, the changeable? What can upset you except the ephemeral? And how can the ephemeral be real if you are God's only creation and He created you eternal? Your holy mind establishes everything that happens to you. Every response you make to everything you perceive is up to you, because your mind determines your perception of it. Paragraph 3. God does not change His mind about you, for He is not uncertain of Himself, and what He knows can be known, because He does not know it only for Himself. He created you for Himself, but He gave you the power to create for yourself so you would be like Him. That is why your mind is holy. Can anything exceed the love of God? Can anything then exceed your will? Nothing can reach you from beyond it, because being in God, you encompass everything. Wow. There is no will but God's. And He created you along with everything as you. So you're part of the whole, everything you see, you can say, I am that. Can anything exceed the love of God? Can anything then exceed your will? Nothing can reach you from beyond it, because being in God, you encompass everything. Believe this and you will realize how much is up to you. When anything threatens your peace of mind, ask yourself, has God changed His mind about me? Then accept His decision, for it is indeed changeless, and refuse to change your mind about yourself. God will never decide against you, or He would be deciding against Himself. And then the next page, at home in God, Roman numeral 1. You do not know your creation simply because you would decide against them as long as your mind is split. And to attack what you have created is impossible. But remember that it is as impossible for God. The law of creation is that you love your creations as yourself, because they are part of you. Everything that was created is therefore perfectly safe, because the laws of God protect it by His love. Any part of your mind that does not know this has banished itself from knowledge, because it has not met its conditions. Again on that. Any part of your mind that does not know this, that everything that was created is therefore perfectly safe, because the laws of God protect it by His love. Any part of your mind that does not know this has banished itself from knowledge, because it has not met its conditions. Who could have done this but you? Recognize this gladly, for in this recognition lies the realization that your banishment is not of God, and therefore does not exist. 2. You are at home in God, dreaming of exile, but perfectly capable of awakening to reality. Is it your decision to do so? You recognize your own experience, that what you see in dreams you think is real while you are asleep. Yet the instant you waken, you realize that everything that seemed to happen in the dream did not happen at all. You do not think this strange, even though all the laws of what you awakened to were violated while you slept. Is it not possible that you merely shifted from one dream to another without really waking? Oh my. Paragraph 3. Would you bother to reconcile what happened in conflicting dreams? Or would you dismiss both together if you discovered that reality is in accord with neither? You do not remember being awake. When you hear the Holy Spirit, you may feel better because loving then seems possible to you. But you do not remember yet that it once was so. And it is in this remembering that you will know it can be so again. What is possible has not yet been accomplished. Yet what has once been is so now, if it is eternal. When you remember, you will know that what you remember is eternal and therefore is now. You will remember everything the instant you desire it wholly. For if to desire wholly is to create, you will have willed away the separation, returning your mind simultaneously to your Creator and your creations. Knowing them, you will have no wish to sleep, but only the desire to waken and be glad. Dreams will be impossible because you will want only truth, and being at last your will, it will be yours. Wow. Okay, now we could go ahead and read this next section, but you know what? Let's just take a little longer in our song at the end. So and maybe get you primed for a good meditation after you finish the lesson, after we finish the lesson. Okay, so remember today, I will there be light. There is no will but God's. And I was going to mark that. Let's see if I got a pen. I had a number 2 with a question mark, whether I'd get to it or not. I think I'm just going to delete it, mark it off. We did introduction and Roman numeral 1. Okay, and what's going on around the world today? And of course, be sure to remember all through the day. If it's morning for you, I will there be light. Think about that over and over throughout the day. And if it's in the afternoon, there is no will but God's. Okay. Lent for the Western Roman Church. For the Eastern Orthodox Church, it's the Great Lent. And today's the last day of the Iroquois winter ceremonies. And then and I found on holidays and observances that it's Barnum and Bailey Day, Be Mad Day. I'd encourage you not to be mad. That's another opportunity for salvation instead of getting upset. Brother and Sisters Day, because no matter who you're upset with, they're your brother or your sister. Children's Picture Book Day, Earth Hour. At 8:30 p.m., turn off your power for 60 minutes to help save the planet. That seems like a nice thing to do. That's kind of like what I was saying, bed in for peace we were talking about the other day. You don't earn any money when you're just staying home. So, they're kind of holds back the money so that this world that's gone crazy with thinks it needs money and protection by fighting to protect the money that it gets, or the whatever it might be that's valuable, oil, your house. Anyway, so we take an hour from 8:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. Turn off the power, he said, and just have a quiet time. Eat an Eskimo Pie Day. Probably not all that good for you, but if that makes you feel good, well then eat an Eskimo pie. Endometriosis March Day, Amber Day. Black Forest Cake Day, Hot Tub Day, Triglycerides Day, Respect Your Cat Day, Something on a Stick Day, Virtual Advocacy Day, Weed Appreciation Day. And I've got a weed I want to talk to you about. And it's the, around here we call it the stinging nettle. Some people just call it nettle. But it's the Urtica dioica. And in A. Vogel and in the herb book, I found this information. In the herb book, it's number 308, which is nettle, Urtica dioica. And it says in the herb book that it contracts cells, so it's an astringent. It's a diuretic, which is basically, a water pill, they call it. Increases urination and removes, helps eliminate fluid buildup in the tissue. It's a tonic, which it nourishes, strengthens, and restores balance. And I found on that A. Vogel that it stopped. It's a hemostatic. That was also in the herb book. But something that wasn't in the herb book that I've heard a lot of people use it for this, it's an antihistamine. Some people say it works better than the ones you get the pharmaceutical. It's also a galactagogue. I found that on the herb book, which increases milk production in lactating animals, mothers. Antihistamine and inhibits inflammation. Found that on A. Vogel. And then pink lemonade blueberry. Let's see what it says about the pink lemonade blueberry out of Edible Landscaping. It's a Vaccinium coriumbossum. You might see it called an ashy instead of coriumbossy. Coriumbossum. I think ashy is the old name, but it's a hybrid, so they bred several different varieties together, probably all within the coriumbossum species, but it could be another species too. I wasn't able to find that information. It just said it was a hybrid. It may be under plant warranty, so be sure you do your due diligence if you're going to propagate it for sale. Let's see. Pink lemonade blueberry. Pink lemonade is a pink fruiting variety with excellent fruit. Similar to southern type blueberry in shape and adaptability, stunning ornamental, vigorous and productive, and as nutritious as other blueberries. Space 6-foot circles, zones 6 through 8. Okay, now I think we can go ahead and let's get set up, and we'll close with our song. And we'll let it be kind of a prelude for taking one of your meditations today. And I'd encourage you to do that. Whether or not you do it right now, that's up to you. But I find that after I've sang the lesson a little bit, it's really easy for me to spend, another few minutes. Because it'll take us 5 or 6 minutes to go through, which is about all the time we have. And then after that, you can spend another 5 or 10 minutes and have one of your meditations done. One of your practice periods, as he calls it. I will there be light. 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 I will use the power of my will today. It is not my will to grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. Light shall be my guide today. I will follow it. I will follow it where it leads me, and I will look only it shows me, only on what it shows me. This day I will experience the peace of true perception. I will there be light, I will there be light. This cannot hide the light, I will to see. You stand with me in light, and name them. You stand with me in light. In the light this will look differently. In the light this will look differently. In the light this will look different. I will there be light. And there is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. I am safe today because there is no will but God's. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. Isn't that a nice idea? I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. I try to attack only when I am afraid. And only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety, is threatened. And only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. Today I will recognize that all this has not occurred. I am safe because there is no will but God's. I am safe because there is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. These are some useful forms of this idea for specific applications. Let me perceive this in accordance with the will of God. For it is God's will, you are His Son, and mine as well. It is God's will, you are His Son, and my will as well. This is part of God's will for me, however I may see it. This is part of God's will for me, however I may see it. There is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. There is no... Whoa! Wind blew that, didn't it? I think we were finished anyway. How does that? Let's close with... There is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. Wind blew up strong there. Blew the whole tripod over. And our word for peace today, we're going to take it from our Igbo brothers on the Niger River in Nigeria. And the word for peace is Udo. And so we end like Jesus did at the Last Supper. They end the Last Supper with a hymn. I will there be light, there is no will but God's. Udo.